All right, today we're going to deconstruct something that is just a masterclass in science education. We're going to figure out one simple thing. How do you take an invisible force, like magnetism, and make it totally visible and understandable to absolutely anyone? So let's start with the big problem, right? Imagine this. You have to explain something you can't see, you can't touch, you can't even hear to a 5-year-old. I mean, where do you even start? It's way tougher than it sounds. The real challenge is building that bridge between a super abstract science concept and how a kid actually sees the world. And the goal isn't just to get them to memorize a fact, it's about helping them really get the idea in a way that's fun, in a way that actually means something to them. Okay, so the answer to this problem comes from a place you might not expect. A short little video for kindergartners called The Magic of Magnets. And it's brilliant. It cracks the code using this simple but incredibly powerful 4-part formula. And here it is. This is the whole structure. It's a journey, really. It kicks off by sparking curiosity, then it gets you exploring with your hands, then it connects everything to an inspiring story, and it wraps up with a fun, creative challenge. You can see how each step just perfectly builds on the one before it. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. This super simple formula, it's actually built on some serious educational science. So let's peel back that first layer. Sparking curiosity. How exactly does the video pull that off? The video doesn't start with some dry, boring definition of magnetism. Nope. The very first words are, "It's like magic, right?" Instantly, this frames science not as a lesson you have to learn, but as this amazing mystery that you get to discover. It's all about inviting wonder before you drop any facts. And that little bit of magic, it's the perfect hook for this powerful teaching method called inquiry-based learning. The whole idea behind it is to stop treating learners like empty buckets to pour facts into, and instead turn them into active explorers who discover knowledge for themselves. And this is just a perfect illustration of that theory in action. The video suggests a magnet hunt. By just going around exploring, looking at things, asking questions, kids aren't just being told about magnetism, they're experiencing it. They literally become little scientists in their own classroom laboratory. Okay, on to part 2 of the formula, exploring the forces. So to make this invisible force feel real, the video uses this incredibly simple and intuitive phrase, pushes and pulls. Any kid anywhere can understand that. It's physical, it's direct, it just makes sense right away. And this is the genius part, that simple phrase, pushes and pulls, it isn't just some random simplification. It actually maps directly to a core concept in the U.S. Next Generation Science Standards. So this isn't about dumbing science down. It's a really sophisticated, deliberate translation of a formal educational goal into language a child can actually use to go out and explore the world. All right, let's get to the next piece of the puzzle. How do you build on this foundation? You use a narrative. This is where the whole explanation transforms from just being informative to being genuinely inspiring. So the video tells this short, sweet story about a toy maker who discovers magnets just by being curious. And it ends with this powerful line, directly connecting her journey to the viewer. It's not just a cute little anecdote, it's a tool for empowerment. It's telling the kid, you can do this too. So the crucial point here is that the story completely reframes the child's identity. They're not just a student learning about science anymore. No, now they're a curious puzzle solver, an experimenter, a discoverer. They are a scientist, and suddenly making a big discovery feels totally achievable. So let's zoom out. What can we all take away from this little masterclass in communication? Because these aren't just principles for teaching 5-year-olds, These are universal rules for making any complex topic accessible to anyone. Here's the blueprint right here. Start with wonder. Turn your audience into active participants. Use simple, relatable language. Ground your big ideas in a story. And this is so important. End with a challenge. Give them a mission that lets them use their new knowledge. That is the recipe for an explanation that doesn't just inform, but one that actually sticks. So that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. It doesn't matter if you're explaining a business strategy or a new piece of software or just an idea you're really passionate about. How can you use a little bit of this magic to spark that same curiosity, create real understanding, and inspire a sense of discovery in other people?